For 3 action-packed days, the Indiana State Fairgrounds in Indianapolis is decorated with rugged 4x4 vehicles and tricked-out trucks from 36 states and Canada. An attendance mark of 79,100 was reached as enthusiasts flocked to see the 2,874 participant vehicles at the Hardee's 4-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree Fall Nationals, presented by Hubler Chevrolet, the heartbeat of America. While the action of the Bigfoot family reunion and mud drags in the kicker competition area was a major attraction at this, the final event in the General Tire Special Event Series for 1989, the Show and Shine competition sent several participants home with armloads of awards.
Ooh, let's go for a ride in my open-top Chevrolet. Go to the beach and have fun right through the day. We'll go to a wood when the sun goes down. Then we'll go driving around the town. This is the summer. This is the summer.
While the Bigfoot family is gearing up for explosive action, the mud races are lining up for D-class competition. Let's join Gary Lee at trackside.
Hubler Chevrolet, the heartbeat of America, presents the Hardee's 4-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree Fall Nationals, part of the General Tire Special Event Series. Class D competition is determined by the tires. These drivers can use street-legal tires up to 44 inches. Now, the engines must be naturally aspirated, no nitrous oxide, and any fuel injection must be stock on the truck, no aftermarket products. So basically, it's the tires that makes Class D competition. As he slings the nuts some 50 feet away, a great ride with a 1976 short bed Chevrolet. Dan Myers out of LaPorte, Indiana. From our neighboring country to the north, from Whitby, Ontario, this is the Intimidator, a 1979 Dodge. This is Tim Sorrell, so a Canadian, traveling south to Indianapolis for the Fall Nationals. The Intimidator makes quick work. That's second quick time thus far, so he just may make that trip down from Canada worth his while. Up next is Lickety Split, a Ford Bronco. This is John Scalish from Mayfield, Ohio. Taking the windshield out, the headlamps are gone. And the foot is in the purple. He gets sideways. Hang on, John, he's upside down. John Scalish out of Mayfield, Ohio, had the foot down, caught the sidewall, and rolled on over. We can see John moving right inside the cockpit. He waves, he's all right. Well, through all the mud on the face, I can almost see a smile. Tell us what it looked like from the cockpit, John.
It was pretty awesome. It was the first time I've ever rolled, and it wasn't that bad, but it was pretty awesome.
The track is not that wide. It's very easy, really, to get sideways and catch the right rear and have the wheels actually turn you on over.
That's right. It was pretty slippery in the middle, and I hit the wall over there, and I went over.
Now, for all those fans who will never, ever have a chance to roll it in the mud, what went through your mind as the truck tipped over?
Well, I was just happy it wasn't deep, because then I wouldn't have probably been able to breathe under there, but I don't know. I think it was awesome.
Well, to call this a Chevy Custom Coupe may be an understatement. This is the Bad Habit out of Oxford, Michigan. This is Mark Newsom with his 1989 Chevy. He's going to get her sideways down there, too, and almost tips it over. He had to keep the throttle down, but he pulls out a lot of steam out of Bad Habit. Here comes the Country Boys concoction. This is a 1977 International Scout. We certainly don't see too many Scouts around these days. This one is well preserved out of Trivoli, Illinois. This is George Roberts. The bright red International Scout hammer down the Country Boys concoction going on through in a George Roberts, a fine ride, the Country Boys concoction. Well, now being staged, the 1988 Chevrolet pickup truck. This is Bill Lucas out of Owensville, Kentucky. Not a Chevrolet you might find in the showroom of your local Chevy dealer. This is homebrew. Custom built for drag racing competition here in the mud at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Tries to engage the gear now. Once again, the full roll cage, the harness, the helmet. And Bill Lucas is underway in homebrew, a good ride. Now staging, we expect some big things from Dirty Habit, the Final Fury. This is Richard Mom Jr. out of Reed City, Michigan, driving a 1932 Austin Phantom Roadster. There's the green. He nails the hammer, and look at that ride. Oh, a fine ride for the Dirty Habit Final Fury. The time, listen to this one, 4.80, 480. That will put him in first place. Richard Mom Jr. in Dirty Habit. Now staging, totally modified. This is Bonkers, an S10 Chevrolet pickup truck out of Mentor, Ohio. This is Mike Camella. And we expect a fine ride from Mike. Tacks it up just a bit. Staging, Bonkers, the S10 Chevrolet pickup. The short bed pickup is underway, and look at the speed he carries down through 180 feet of mud. A fine, fine ride. 4.93 for Bonkers. The Dirty Habit, Richard Mom Jr. takes the victory in the D class, and I can tell you've been back there to wash this car off, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, I don't like letting the mud sit on it too long. Got to keep it looking good for all the spectators, and it's a lot easier to clean that way.
Couple of runs of just over 4 seconds. You don't even have really a chance to hold your breath at that speed.
No, not really. You hold it down and watch where you're going and pray.
But how much money do we have represented here?
Total altogether?
Total.
I probably got close to 20,000 sitting here right now.
Men and boys and the price of their toys. It's costing more money, Mom, to get dirty. And we'll be right back to the Indiana State Fairgrounds in Indianapolis, so don't go away.
Woo, let's go for a ride in my open-top Chevrolet. Go to the beach and have fun right through the day. We'll go to a wood when the sun goes down. Then we'll go driving around the town. This is the summer. This is the summer. This is the summertime. We're gonna have some fun. Yeah!
Here they come! The biggest, most powerful monster trucks in the world! In the all-new action video, Bigfoot Strikes again!
Thrill to 60 minutes of non-stop Bigfoot excitement.
High-speed monster truck drag racing,
Car crunching.
truck jumping,
Mud bogging.
bloopers,
Rollovers and much, much more.
It's the biggest show on wheels!
See Bigfoot blast his way through mountains of metal in this unbelievable new video.
Whether they're flying through the air, splashing through the mud, or smashing their way over cars, you'll feel the thundering power as these supercharged muscle machines explode on your screen.
Never before has so much Bigfoot action been packed into a single video.
Never again will you witness such a radical display of raw power.
Plus, if you order now,
You'll also receive a complete set of 50 monster truck trading cards, free!
this offer not available in store, so call now.
Call 1-800-648-5600 to get your VHS copy of Bigfoot Strikes Again for $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Use your credit card now and get a set of monster truck trading cards free. Call now, 1-800-648-5600. It's unbelievable.
Well, families have a way of growing, and in 15 years, the Bigfoot family has grown from 1 vehicle to 11. And here is the papa of the Bigfoot family, Bob Chandler. Bob, this is a very special weekend for you. I know it's a family reunion. As we look back over here, 11 vehicles, and the family, I know, continues to grow.
We're still going to build some more trucks. I'd like to be able to retire the first few. They're getting old, and their frames are getting weak and things. And there's new innovations coming along in these new trucks, so I'd like to get rid of a couple of the older ones somehow.
Realistically, this is a celebration of the 5,000th appearance of Bigfoot. Figure that out. That's one a day for 13 and a half years. You had no idea 15 years ago what you were really creating.
No, I really didn't. It's kind of grew. Each year, Merrill and I would think about the events we're going to, and we'd say, you know, let's go to as many as we can. It's not going to last. And each year it got more and more and more, and I don't think it's going to quit the way it looks.
As the Bigfoot family paraded through the Indiana State Fairgrounds, thousands of fans jammed the grandstand to witness the historical Bigfoot Reunion, with competition on the figure-8 course, including a 15-foot hole on the starting line. Each Bigfoot will be timed to see who is the quickest and fastest in this battle of speed and skill.
I think that's the key that we have to talk about. The fans get to see you guys put the show on. They never see you behind the scenes, and this is not a real glamorous job, because once the curtain comes down, the show is over. You have to go back to work, and it's kind of grungy work at times.
That's true. That's really when all the work starts. You know, driving the trucks is a hard job, but tearing them down and transporting them cross country, you know, there's many hours that are involved in that people never see.
And driving Bigfoot number 1 is Ken Kelling. This was the original Bigfoot built some 15 years ago. Bigfoot number 1, Ken Kelling. On the obstacle course. Remember, this was the one built some 15 years ago. It's a tough one to drive, a rigid suspension. It's tough on the driver. Ken Kelling driving with a neck brace right now. He's been shattered before. Has had the spine stretched out going over the cars. Ken Kelling in Bigfoot number 1. Now, you're kind of petite, and I think the fans may think that it takes a real brute to muscle one of these trucks around. I mean, how difficult is it for you to drive one of these?
It's not real difficult. It takes a lot of skill, aggression. You've got to be thinking all the time, and you can never let up. You know, you've got to be thinking the whole time. There's never a relaxed moment.
And Bigfoot number 2, the guest driver, the blonde lady from the state of Oregon. This is Debbie Roden. And there is the flag, and she is underway, and the skill driving down, back up over, gets some air under that Bigfoot number 2. Now remember, it's been a while since Debbie has driven a monster truck, so she is feeling her way around, but enjoying every moment of it. The skill driving course here in the infield at the Indiana State Fairgrounds in Indianapolis. The rear steer, the hydraulics, she hits the throttle, straightens it up, and now she is flat out away. Debbie Roden is Bigfoot number 2. Now, you look like you're big enough to manhandle one of these trucks.
Well, sometimes they get the best of you, but tires, you know, they're 1,000 pounds a piece and everything, so we just do a lot of hard work and that, and travel around the country a lot, and sometimes they just handle you and you handle them, so you just go for the ride most of the time.
And now aboard Bigfoot number 3, making his return to monster truck driving competition. This is big Ron Bachman. Ron drove Bigfoot a number of years ago, then almost retired from driving to work back in the shop as a crew member, but because we needed some drivers this weekend to bring out all 11 Bigfoot family vehicles, Ron is back behind the wheel. Says it takes a little getting used to, but he's happy to be back in the cockpit. Works that rear steer, that is controlled with a toggle switch off the left hand, makes that turn, nails the hammer, and heads down the straightaway. Big Ron Bachman in Bigfoot 3. So your celebrity status really ends when the curtain comes down the show, because you're right back to loading up the truck, taking the tires off if necessary, keeping the truck clean, keeping the hauler clean. A lot of grungy work between shows.
Well, you try to get back to the shop as soon as you can and do any work, get the truck back to the mechanic so they can take a look at it, or you know, if there's anything wrong with it. And you spend the rest of your time getting ready for the next show, keeping the semi clean, restocking any parts that you use, gas, oil, bolts, or whatever, and try to get one day off and then head out again, going out of town next weekend.
Here is Bigfoot number 4. This is John Hyatt, who has been with the organization about 2 years, but he is really a rookie driver, his first real season in Bigfoot competition. Oh, he gets the man going over that hill. A crew member who just started driving earlier in the year, but a good competitor. Once again, using that rear steer to negotiate that tight right-hander. Crosses over the infield of this course. Now once again the rear steer. A tight left-hander. And now he's back on the throttle. Oh, a good time turned in by John Pyatt and Bigfoot 4.
We'll be right back for the balance of the Bigfoot family reunion.
Your VCR is about to explode as...
Jim, you have become synonymous with performing with Bigfoot, but right now, because of an injury, you have to take it easy. So tell us what happened and how it happened.
Yes, my job today is a coordinator, which is a big job when you got this many vehicles. But the long story is, or the short story I should say, is I overextended my elbow testing the new number 8 truck. We had the suspension way too hard when we first started testing. That's the idea of testing. Now that we softened up suspension, it's a lot nicer ride. But anyway, I overextended my elbow. I had to go in there and clean it up. And it's going to be about another 3 weeks to a month before I can really get back in and drive. This time, if I do overextend it again, I'll be right back to square one. So I just want to get healed up and get back in the seat.
Here it is, the king of the monster trucks. They cannot get any bigger than Bigfoot number 5. These tires 10 feet in diameter. This is always on display outside Bob Chandler's Midwest 4-wheel drive complex near the St. Louis airport. I have to think that there are a lot of folks up here that would love to have the chance to drive one of these vehicles, but you have to be perhaps envied more than anyone else driving fast tracks. It's got to be fun.
It is. I just can't describe how much fun. Nothing I can think of that I'd rather do.
And now being staged, this is Fast Tracks, the Bigfoot Fast Track driven by Dan Dobbs, featuring twin blowing Ford power plants right behind the cockpit. Earlier in the day, he made a ramp jump of over 58 feet. This is a former Army personnel carrier. Weighs in now about 23,000 pounds. Develops about 1,200 horsepower. A wide turn. He nails the hammer, cranks out the horsepower, and completes the run in the Bigfoot Fast Track. How long does it actually take for a driver to really feel acclimated in the cockpit of one of these vehicles?
That's a hard question to answer because you never really feel, secure in some of the vehicles. We do a lot of changing around, and it's hard to get settled in on one particular vehicle. Right now, like this weekend, we're trying to put everybody in a vehicle they're going to feel comfortable in for maybe another year or so.
Now staging Bigfoot number 6, Gene Patterson. The time he'll be shooting for turned in by John Pyatt at 25.30. 25 and 3100 seconds. And this is Bigfoot number 6, looking remarkably good for all the wear. This truck, we understand, has been upside down on 3 occasions, but they always put that cosmetic sheet metal right back together. The roll cage does its job, and it now is underway. There's the big hole, nails the hammer, a little air under the front wheels, and Bigfoot 6 is underway. Gene Patterson shooting for a 25.30, turned in by John Pyatt. Across the midsection of the course, a very tight left-hander. Up on 2 wheels, the right side wheel sets it back down, straightens it up, and nails the hammer. Gene Patterson, Bigfoot number 6. No matter how much experience one has in monster truck competition, it has to be a heck of a thrill to be driving the premier monster truck.
Yes, it's an honor to drive for the Bigfoot people. I mean, they've got excellent equipment. It's all maintained well. Everything is state-of-the-art at the time. You just can't add, it's just prestigious to even be asked to be in their uniform.
Staging now, Bigfoot number 7. This is Dan Patrick. Now, he will be shooting once again for John Pyatt. 25.30 clocking. Gene Patterson is second fast at 26.60. And the first thing they look at is a big hole in the earth. To negotiate that, there's the flag. There's the hole, and up fall to the rise. A lot of air, both front and back, for Dan Patrick and Bigfoot 7. Dirt track around that corner, quickly through the infield, Works that toggle switch, activates the hydraulic steering on the rear, and he's on the throttle before he ever negotiates the end of that turn. A good run for Dan Patrick and Bigfoot 7.
Now, Andy, cosmetically, this number 8 looks like the rest of the fleet of Bigfoot vehicles, but underneath it's all trick and all different.
Yes, it is. This one is totally different than any of the other trucks. We're running an all-tube chassis. We're the first truck to run like a cantilever suspension off of big separate shocks.
They call this the truck of the 90s. This is Bigfoot 8. The driver is Andy Brass. This is a pure race truck. Notice the tubular frame construction. This is the first time a Bigfoot vehicle has been built off of this foundation. A tubular steel construction. This is Andy Brass. Nitrous shocks in this, and watch the shock travel. Look at the front end raise up under the horsepower. Look at that. Oh, he's on the nose. Brought it back down. They say it's a very easy ride. Up on two wheels. Look at the shock travel. Look at the chassis rotate and revolve up and down, side for side. Andy Brass putting on a show in the truck of the 90s. The fans go wild here at the Indiana State Fairgrounds as he completes the run in Bigfoot 8. It really comes as no surprise that Andy Brass is the fastest through the skill course with Bigfoot 8 at 23.80. 23.80. And that eclipses the old fast time turned in earlier by Bigfoot 4 and John Hyatt at 25.30.
The fan base from the youth is so widespread. I know you like the kids.
Yeah, I do. And to get my picture taken with the kids, you know, they say, will you do this? And I said, sure, I'll do this, as long as we don't break the camera, you know. But I enjoy doing that, and the kids, to me, make it worthwhile.
They've come a long way in 15 years, and I'm sure there's a long way to go because Bigfoot will be around for a long, long time. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
What Gift for Men is back and better than ever.
It's easy for you four-wheel and off-road fans to become part of one of America's fastest-growing motorsport series, the Four-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree Nationals. Whether you're into mud-bogging or off-road twisting, turning, bumping, and grinding, or just want to show off your hot 4x4, the Four-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree National Series has it all. Be one of the thousands of off-roaders who have enjoyed our 3-day 4x4 party. Write to us at the Four-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree Nationals, P.O. Box 726, Indianapolis, Indiana, or call us today at area code 317-236-6522. Join us and be a part of it.
Oh, what a great weekend here in Indianapolis as Hubler Chevrolet, the heartbeat of America, has presented the Hardys Four-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree Fall Nationals, part of the General Tire Special Event Series. It has been a tremendous weekend. Never before have all 11 Bigfoot trucks appeared at the same time. It may never happen again, and we are delighted that you have been here to join us. From Indianapolis, I'm Gary Lee. Thanks for joining us.